Hey. All right, starting this video. I'm going live, but I really haven't announced it anywhere, so a couple people may straggle in here and there, but really this is just going to be, one for recording. Nice to see some people. Like I'm saying, I'm just going to run through a bunch of this stuff. People are here, that's awesome. Otherwise, it's just sort of a little video record of my Marvel Universe 2011 sketches. So that's going to be fun. So let's do it. When people come in, great. Otherwise, I'm just talking. So I always go alphabetical by first name. And that's mostly because that's how the file names sort on my computer. So here we go. We're going to start off with 3 from Alberto Silva. Hey, Nathan. How you doing? You on the road? Always fun. I assume you're glad the longshoreman strike didn't happen. I heard that was going to be pretty nasty for the whole industry. So yeah, jumping right in. Let's go with the A's. Alberto Silva. What I like about Alberto. In fact, you know what? Let me do this and make those the focus. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. That sounds like a happening place. Silva was great because he did lots of these sort of scenes like this or group shots, as opposed to people who just did, single bodies. And again, nothing wrong with that, but it was nice to get some variety. He's got sort of an X Factor one here with you've got Random and Forge in the front. You've got Wild Child down in the corner and Polaris right there in the background. And he did a few of that had 2 to 4 characters. This one was from a storyline called, I believe, Here Comes Tomorrow. So you've got Wolverine, you've got Beak. That is Jean Grey. And the Sentinel in the background is one they've actually co-opted. They call it Rover. So it was a fun little storyline and pretty cool to get this sketch of that rather niche little storyline. Again, I'm just going to work my way through. Can I get 2 on there? Yeah, I guess I can. Close enough. Alcione de Silva. He does some wonderful work. His ladies are always well done. Sentry obviously did a good job on him as well. But his females are definitely more popular in the market with collectors. That's probably the true for every single artist out there, let's be honest. But he did really nice work on the Black Cat. Again, nothing fancy, just a simple, straightforward, clean sketch. Same thing in the Invisible Woman. Really nice work on the Mystique with the background there too. Just does some nice, clean work. Definitely a fan of him. I've probably got 40 or 50 of his across all sets. I've got just these 4 from Universe 2011. As it says, this set came out in 2011. It was one of the earlier Rittenhouse sets. They had the license until 2015. And then Upper Deck took it over. And then, as we know, Upper Deck has just lost the Marvel license. Oh, look out. Come on, buddy.
Hey, Busron. How you doing?
Not bad. Just talking to myself in here, going through some sketch cards. You know how it is. Living the dream.
I love it. That Archangel is epic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so Alex Magno, as you know, a lot of people collect him. Like Glassburner collects them. He's big there. In fact, he's got far more than I do as far as Magno, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's hard not to be a fan of him. Great work on the Apocalypse. And again, these sort of show his style, very expression driven, does very cool backgrounds and action shots. With Beast, just sort of I don't think it's Dark Beast, but it's definitely got that vibe. Bishop, nice with the really nice detail on the gun there too. Well, who's your favorite sketch artist these days?
Who's my favorite sketch card art? Oh, that's tough. I mean, Magno is so good about creating a scene, which is why I love his work so much. Is that I always feel like there's some kind of narrative, something happening in there. That's just amazing.
Agree.
Um, oh God, you know what? Well, I've been wanting to tell you this. I've been forgetting to text you, but guess what? I'm doing a commission with somebody.
When you've got a couple commissions lately that have just been, jaw dropping. So I can
Yeah,
only
well,
imagine.
so I have I won't say the artist, but and this is unrelated, but probably I mean I like Toma.
Yep.
Always loved Toma. Um, PJ, PJ is just the best.
DJ's awesome.
PJ is awesome. Man, that's a good Cyclops.
Yeah, it's funny that
That's
I don't mind having multiple versions of the character by the same artist in the same set, especially when they're so well done, right? Straight portrait, really nice expression on this one. And Alex always does good work. I definitely think there are some sets where the quality level is better than others, and I think this is one of his best sets in terms
I
of
mean
that.
that Cyclops where he's reaching out, that has to be to Phoenix. And I feel like he just understands
Yep.
all these like character moments. Because every time I see him, like the Cyclops and I believe Dazzler at the end there are kind of portrait shots, but most of his stuff is always some like comic book reference or something's happening there that has like some narration to
Yeah.
it. It's so good.
It's like the lighting in the background
Yeah,
from
so
behind with the
dynamic.
yellow. Absolutely. Like even when it's quote unquote just a portrait, like they're well expressioned. You can tell there's just something
Yeah.
going on there.
He didn't have to put that hand there that Dazzler has. You know what I mean? That like she has her hand on her chest there.
Yep.
Like he didn't have to do that, but it adds so much.
Absolutely. Man, I
That's
love
so good.
this Doom is just fantastic.
That's insane. I've never seen that one. I've never seen the Galactus either. Wow. Both of those. I mean, all of them are awesome, but
Yeah, I mean
wow.
he does great inks, and
Yeah.
again on this one, like I said, there's some sets where you can tell he sort of rushed the faces a little bit, but on this particular set, this is one of the reasons I like this set so much. I feel like if I had to name my top 3 Rittenhouse sets where people just put in the work, this would definitely be one of those 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Bronze Age would probably be one.
Bronze Age has a lot of surprises. I feel like I always see really good stuff from Bronze Age, which
And
is
even
yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's courtesy of me right there, that Mystique, and
Yep.
originally courtesy of Letty. I still think to date that is the best Mystique. Hands down, one of the top 3 Mystiques for me I've ever seen on a sketch.
Yeah. It's just, and
It's
it's
awesome.
again, rarely do you see, because it's typically banned, the gun pointing straight at the viewer, right? So that's a nice one. This one with Fury just sort of like taking a break after a shootout. Even the Sentinel's got a little bit of expression, like, "Oh my God, I'm on fire! Help me!" Like, what the hell's going on there? But
That's a great Magneto. That's a good one
oh
too.
yeah, I mean, just again, everything he does. I'm sorry for the and again, not so much for you because I know you don't care, but for anybody watching, I want to keep them all in order in my binder. I finally got everything in the binder. So they're alphabetical, first by artist and then by characters within the cards. Because that's how my OCD works.
Oh wow!
Got another nice Sentinel, really great shading. Spider-Man, really nice background scene there. Like he's just come through the window of somebody's apartment. Super Skrull, always one of my favorite villains.
Oh, he's so dynamic too. This is fun for me. I love Warlock.
Yeah, people can have a lot of fun with Warlock, just with all those crazy lines.
You've shown some intense Warlocks over the years. I've never seen as many Warlocks as other than from you, for sure.
They don't make a lot, and then you sort of have to be a New Mutants fan to really, go after those. And,
Yeah.
I definitely qualify as one of those.
Great look.
Just nice Wolverines, kind of blood on the claws too.
Ah, so cool. Bullet holes in the wall.
And again, just a
Perfect.
nice story with looking from back with the leather jacket, just kind of the moody piece there. Just love it.
You just don't see a lot of people do that kind of stuff, like ever. You know what I mean? It's so rare. Oh, Al. I like Al.
Yeah, I don't blame. I mean, artists. It's so tough to like.
No,
You imagine, especially somebody who's doing sketch cards for years and years. To okay, how do I come up with something fresh here, right?
no, I get that. I totally understand. And there's time restrictions and other things going on. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that Doctor Strange is a puzzle. Looks great.
I don't think so,
It might not be.
but it's hard to tell. Yeah, you're right with some of these.
You know, it's funny. That's like top 5 worst things you can tell a sketch card collector. Hey, doesn't that sketch belong to a
Oh,
puzzle?
I know, right?
It's like it's the most like ridiculous, the cruelest thing to tell somebody.
Absolute torture. Yeah,
I love that surfer. I remember seeing that surfer. That's a good one.
that is definitely a nice one. This next one of my best pulls ever. Just load it back up. Sometimes when cards are a puzzle, it sort of messes up my order, right? Because okay, you got a 4-card puzzle, you got to figure out okay, how do I balance this in the binder? So I've got characters going around the puzzle. And yeah, sometimes my OCD is not a fan of that. I believe you've seen this one before.
This is such an epic one. If people haven't seen this already, this is like one of the best puzzles. I saw this first on your blowout form.
Yep.
And it was one of the first times I fell in love with Toma. And I think I was talking to Rick about it too a long time ago. And I've always been obsessed with it. It's such a good, like, the depth, the 4s in there, all 4 characters, like, and it's a puzzle, but the way it's composed is so well done.
Yeah, no, definitely. Hey, what's up, the game? Thanks. What I really like about this too is I'll just use one piece, and I've got some singles too. But what's nice with this is you can see he originally did it in pencil. Like you can actually see some of the shine of the pencil still underneath the inks, and then also just his use of pastels. The color palette that he does on these is just fantastic. And yeah, and then they just look so good in the binder too.
They're amazing. They're amazing. His torches are great. All of his stuff is good. I've always Toma's definitely top 5 for me. It's hard for me. Like I don't even think I have a Toma surfer anymore because it's just. Well, do I? No, I don't. I don't.
No Toma. Jeez, that's not good. You're gonna run out.
I am gonna remedy it.
Thanks, Unforgiven. So the game, back in the Rittenhouse days, it was sort of a mix. Early on, some of the sketches were broken up, but later, like in this sketch and in Bronze Age, like 2011 forward, you typically got them all in a box. So I got all those. In a box. I'm pretty sure, God, now I got to remember back if it was this set or another one. There were some where they're all in a single pack, but there were also times when it would be all 4 packs in the same box. So you'd open the first one, you'd be like, hey, I'm like, oh no, puzzle. But then you open the next pack, like, oh, here we go. So
that's so nice. I think it's so cruel to like split puzzles across like so many different like that. It's so rare to even hit cards period that are one of ones, and to screw a puzzle over like that, like there are some poor saps out there that have been looking for puzzle pieces. Chamber's great. Chamber's a good character.
Good, weird in a good way, exactly.
Like in Chamber has like a really difficult thing to do too. You know what I mean? Like that's not like a character
to make it look like it's more than just an explosion on somebody's face. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
by the way, you set up your camera beautifully. By the way, the cards are looking stunning.
Excellent, thanks. Going to Mr. Price now. Really love Andy. I think I'm a huge Andy Price fan.
I love Andy Price. Like he did that Spectre I've shown you.
I wish he was still doing sketch cards. Obviously, huge fan. He is, but however, he is now killing it over on MLP, My Little Pony. I think I told you at New York Comic Con. Remember, he and Katie Cook from My Little Pony. I think the only person who had bigger lines than them was Peach Momoko.
They're good though, man. Like it's perfect style match. Like him, Sarah Richard.
Yep.
Like those three guys are perfect for Pony. And I have a Magic Little Pony, My Little Pony sketch card, the Day of the Dead one, and it's by Sarah, and it's just great. It's just a great card.
You know, until that, like I knew it was popular and I knew it was a thing, but until you see the fandom up person and just the passion they bring, it's hard to really understand. I love the coloring on this one.
And that original series too was actually very well written, and it was just a very well constructed show. Like it's a kid show, but like this one I got from Sarah, and it's just brilliant.
Hang on, let me make you.
Oh, I can do it. You don't have to. You're setting up stuff.
Okay, cool.
I got you.
Yeah, my binder's on my mouse. I just realized.
No. You do your thing. I'm just showing people so they can see the example. And it was the Day of the Dead.
And Sarah Richard, any Sarah Richard is one you want, right? Her stuff is just.
I still need a Sarah Richard surfer, man. I want that one from Marvel Premiere 2012 so bad.
So this is the second one I have in this sort of style where he did a pencil base, but then color around it, and I just love that, right? That one and the other Phoenix. So you got the mother-daughter combo. Actually, I didn't even follow that, right? You got the Ginny and the Rachel.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even notice that.
My OCD says I have to put them back in the correct order.
Take your time. Man.
Yeah, so Rachel. And this one, oh God, what that guy is, what's his version? His version is Future Foundation Spider-Man. That's what he is. Which I think has to do with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's basically something too. I think they're talking about.
Like I want to say Franklin somewhere involved in there.
For sure. This
one's kind of just goofy. This sort of weird style he did. He did a small little subset of those with that sort of. They're not full size characters and they're not chibi. They're just sort of somewhere in the middle. Cool one there, and this sort of photo one. Sort of a Polaroid, everybody cut off, love it. And again, getting a Nightcrawler is always a treat, obviously.
And Nightcrawler's like photobombing it. It's so stupid good.
Just
so stupid good.
What's up, Shire? Welcome. Yeah, so those are all my Andes. I just love him. I just secured 6 more in a deal. And I'll have those in a while. Kind of a big, large deal, so it's going to take a little while to work it off.
That's nice.
Always nice when people are willing to let you work the big deals over time, though. So these were all incentives, which I have, as you know, I love to take them out of their prisons.
Let's not talk about it, okay?
But the problem is, like anybody who knows it, yeah, exactly. Shire's a Matt without a beard. Yes. Like the detail he puts in here. And the problem is, this whole section's covered by the label, so you can't really see everything. So Great Dazzling Jubilee, right? Spiral and Lady Deathstrike. I love this combo.
Spiral's one of my favorites, man. Spiral is one of my favorites.
Spider-Man ones I got too. Like he's just decking Sandman there. I mean, Anthony Tan is just so good at doing detail. And again, what I like about this set is, don't get me wrong, I've probably got close to 100 Anthony Tan, so I love the guy. But a lot of times he doesn't go to this little level of detail. A lot of times it's at a sort of the lines are bigger, so you get less detail. It's still clearly his style, but the way he went into such detail on these, and it might have been because they were incentives, that he got a little more time to work on them, or was instructed to really lean into them. But yeah, I love tan. I mean, the problem, I get tons and tons of these, but the problem is, everyone's figured out that tan's amazing. So, the days of getting reasonable sketch cards anywhere are long gone.
That's over.
Let's just be honest. Which is fine. That's great. I mean, things should be market value, and I love that so many people are now into sketch cards that it's sort of given. I don't want to say new life, but just continued life and vigor to the insert, which I think is important as we get into the Topps era, because I mean, so far they just announced their second set, right? The Sapphire thing, which looks essentially like the same set, but just different.
Not essentially.
Exactly
or something.
the same images. It's exactly the same images, just the same cracked sapphire foil over and over again. I don't even think they have sketch cards in that one.
No, a pre-Kubrius Auto. So I mean, again, it's the second. Like some people were, getting a little defensive, saying, "Give them time, guys. Don't judge them from just one set." And I get that. And I suppose they could argue that this isn't really a new set. It's the same one, just with a different name. But, I mean, look. How negative should I be? Should I be positive? I'll be positive. Matt.
I think what just cracks me up, and I think they'll do more sketch cards. I heard something recently I have to talk to you about where the sketch cards might be coming. I don't know. I have no idea. I heard something, so I have to tell you privately. But
Star Wars does sketches, so I wouldn't be.
It's coming.
If they didn't do any.
No, they're coming. They're just. I think it's funny when I hear people say, "Well, don't be negative. No need to I'll wait until they come out or I see them in hand." Blah 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 blah. I think people are allowed to say what they're feeling in the moment, and it's okay for people to change opinions later. Because at the moment, you know what I mean? A feeling's a feeling. I think people take it way too seriously, like they're defending their company. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you?
I'm sure I am 100% positive Fanatics will put up some sets and that I will really.
For sure.
We're just not there. And I understand it too, right? These are the first ones, so they certainly didn't have time to reach out and get original art. So I get why it's recycled art. I don't mind that. I'm getting used to sort of now I'm understanding that this is sort of their pattern. I've read a couple comments from people who've sort of got it. I think Ruben had a really good comment and talking about how it builds through there. So I'm learning a lot from the people who are sharing their experience on the top side, which is great. Again, do I like what they released so far? No. Do I have hope that they'll release good ones? Absolutely. And some people are really into this. I'm just going to take a quick break. So Benjamin Glendenning, I absolutely love him. He is one of my top 10 artists for sure. So if you got any Glendenning you looking to trade or sell, as I like to say, I'm your Huckleberry. Really nice Electra.
Huckleberry.
And to make Namor look good, I think sometimes it's tough. I mean, because he's just like an arrogant guy with elf ears and feather heels or little wings on his heels, so it's tough. This is a great one. Bill Pukowski did a great, just simple one on that. And then Brian Postman is, he's been around sketch cards. He was the king of the Rittenhouse era. I think he was in every single set. Get a very 60s and 70s newspaper vibe to it.
When Postman
he hit. I will say that. You know what I mean? He was everywhere, but there are some cards out there that are nice looking pieces.
Oh yeah, I mean, some of his again, it's his style is 100% also an acquired taste.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy it. Buddy Prince, another artist that I absolutely adore. He just does really quality work, clean lines. Nice colors. I mean, just the details on the feathers, just a really nice composition on that. Really like that one. I'm going to go to chat after this guy to realize I'm ignoring it. Black Bolt with the Kirby Crackle, and this Calypso, like the level of detail on this. And I love just what a great character to be able to draw, and just the color in the hair there. Just really wonderful work on that. So yeah, thank you everybody for showing up, pulling. Welcome, Shire. Hey Mark, what's up? Yeah, it's fun. Again, the old days of going out on a Saturday night are long gone. I mean, if you had told 20-year-old me that I'd be spending a Saturday night looking at Marvel cards online, well, first of all, 20-year-old me wouldn't even know what online meant. So, but yeah, it's interesting. But it's kind of the fun stuff. Again, Buddy does great work with Marvel. Really nice Psylocke. Again, a Marvel Universe. And again, I've also, don't get me wrong, so I've curated the hell out of this. I think I've got, the way it works is anything that doesn't quite meet my standard. That's gonna sound bad if I say that. I'm just very picky about what I.
As a collector, you're curating a collection here. It has to be your taste. You know what I mean? Like it's your collection. It's Matt Fuller's sketch card binder.
So Butch Mappa, he's also one of my top 10. And it's funny, his can go all over the map. So these are bad examples for what I'm about to say, because again, a lot of times his aren't quite as detailed, but it's more with him about the composition. This just happens to be a set where he just really went above and beyond. Like this one with, her reflection in Spidey's eye. Just that level of detail there. Just absolutely does it. Just this nice, sort of laid back scene, him just looking out over the sunset. I really like
my favorite one in the lineup.
Slice of life kind of cards like that. I also have one, not in this set, but it's one where Jean is on a little swing set. Just really nice when you get that sort of vibe. Daredevil kind of flying down, trying to rescue somebody, falling there. Again, just the work he put in the background, and then Crossbones with the old movie scene explosion in the background. Just definitely does really nice work. And again, you're going to notice that, hey, I got a whole bunch of these. Now, you've probably heard me say this ad nauseum, but I adore word balloons on cards.
I wish I had a surfer word balloon. I don't have one, and it's definitely something I've always wanted.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I cannot get enough. But yeah, Marvelous. I agree that the storm. This one actually is. I don't know if you can see the details with the red eyes and the teeth. This is actually Bloodstorm, where she was the vampire.
Oh yeah,
that was a great little storyline.
These are all Marvel Universe.
Yep. So there were two Marvel Universes. This is the first one, which was 2011. Again, this one, I'm too meta for this card. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I mean, just the Mappa does. If everybody did cards like him, sketch cards would be a whole nother level. Just the thought he puts into the compositions is just crazy. And this. I mean, a lot of sets are great examples of his work, but this one in particular, again, one of my favorite, which is why I decided to sort of start with this one. I did do one binder review like a year or two ago. I mean, I could go back, I suppose. It must be saved somewhere. I don't remember what the hell it was, but if it was this set, that would be weird. But then the last three I have from Mappa, and again, just the composition on these, like, Jean huddles as Phoenix against a cosmic background. I mean,
that's sick.
That's just so good. And then this is a future version of Tony Stark. Sometimes I put little notes on my files. Let me see if I put a note. So I did some. Now I couldn't figure out what storyline this was, but it's definitely Tony in that little. And then this one, I got this fairly recently, and I'm absolutely in love with it. Just great. Yeah. I just love Mappa. Yeah, enough said.
I mean,
I'm going to put, I've only got one from Chow Mahato, so I'm going to put him. I'll put these away. Get ready for
cool.
Yeah, it's just
Morph?
Morph, it's just a fun one. You don't see Morph too often. Like even back.
Morph's a great character.
Yep.
I'm surprised we don't see Morph enough.
Absolutely.
He's like perfect for a sketch card too. Like all the things he can do and all the different. It's like Mystique. You know what I mean?
So Charles Hall. So Charles in Marvel Universe 11, he did 2 different kinds of sketches. One he did, I can't. If this was, wait a minute. I bet it's at the. So one of the things I do is once the binder is all set, when I get new sketches, I don't. Excuse me for a second, before they have a disaster here. I don't every time go ahead and okay, I got to put somebody in the C here and then shift everything down in the binder. A lot of times I put them way in the back, and I just realized I have an extra Charles Hall that I'll get in a second. So Charles did his normal sort of painted cards, like this one. This is Sin from Fear Itself. And, Charles has painted, and you can see he lacquers them to protect them, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then he also did these cover recreations. So now these are interesting. I am pretty sure, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure he used and even said he used at the time. So it's not like he was like trying to like trick. He used some assistive techniques on these where he was somehow, I don't know if it would be tracing but somehow he didn't do all this freehand is what I'm trying to say. But he did these as sort of an underlying scene, and he obviously did the work and colored them, but they're not like a lot of the rest of them where it's sort of freehand. I happen to just love them, like the Secret Wars version here, just Avengers. Perfect to put a little closer to let you see it. I mean, it's just a recreation of the cover. So it's just, it's different for sure. But, again, sort of nice to have as sort of part of the history of the set. I don't think it's everyone's cup of tea, but I'm a fan of Charles, so I enjoy it.
Also like.
So I know I came a little bit late, but in terms of this binder that you're showing, right? What you're really showing is kind of like you're kind of keeping a history of the sketch cards.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming. So is this binder like volume 1 of your sketch card collection? Like what was the approach?
This is just so this is binder 1 of I think 40, but this is just Marvel Universe 2011. This whole binder. Yeah. So every set has its own binder unless there's like under 100 cards, and then sets share binders. But Marvel Universe 2011 has its own binder. So, yeah. And as you know, just getting to that point took all years. It absolutely took
years. And you did well, though. I think you must be happier to have this.
It wasn't too long ago, the day I put the final card into the binder, and actually, I'm still not done with the process. See, you can't see the floor, but I have a bunch of stuff I'm going through, and you might recognize these. This is what I'm trying to decide what to do with them. Oh God, no, Colin, we are not seeing all 40. No.
You use them for shipping. Just put them off to the side when you ship cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm using some of them to store Pokemon when I'm selling them. So, all right. So these are some interesting ones in here. This is Chris Cabby Bradbury. Chris does a wonderful job. This was one of my more recent ones, and I just love the way he did the face on Doom there. I think you've seen this one before.
Yes, I have.
And
Cabby's good.
Yep, and this one, so actually, let me do this one first. This is just Chris. This is actually the first jam card from the set. So Chris Cabby Bradbury did this with Richard Cox. So I'm pretty sure this has Richard's sort of muted colored style, so I'm pretty sure Chris did the...
Let me show you. I'll get my Richard. Because this is something that I had been searching for years.
Oh, you got Richard, just such good work.
Richards, but Cabby's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and Richard, I mean, you see his stuff and you immediately know. You're like, oh
Yeah.
you know who that is.
Richard is one of my favorites. I think he lives in North Carolina. He's probably a top 10 for me,
You got something?
which is crazy. Oh yeah, sorry. So
All right, yeah,
Richard's like a top 10 for me.
Oh, that one, yeah. So you know what? Why don't you take it out if you can take it out of the plastic so we don't get the glare, because then you'll be able to tell the story too. Which is, I love the story on this thing.
Yeah, this is man. I can't believe I found this. To be honest with you, it was one of those sketches that you find, you never think you're gonna find. So if you search Silver Surfer sketch cards, some sketch cards come up on the Google image thing. Like 3 pages in, you'll see a bunch of good ones. At least back in the day when I was doing this really hardcore. And man, I saw this one years and years and years ago. I never thought I'd be able to own it. And then luckily, one day it pops up on eBay. And I remember telling Matt, and I lost my mind. But Surfer here is actually flying in front of Galactus's chest piece or headpiece. I forget what it is.
Yep. It's like
and that's the scale.
Yeah. It's just so cool.
I thought it was so cool.
Like most people thought it was a building or whatever, but there's the example of Cox's muted colors. There you go.
Yeah. It's just, some artists have a very distinct palette. He's one, Toma's one,
Toma's one.
That's the great thing about seeing them all. What's up? Hey, Free, welcome. King, everybody's here. Well, William's here, all right. And the other thing, if any of you want to jump on, please feel free. Just hit me up either on Messenger or Insta. And then tell me in comments you did, so I can go over and look, and I'll happily send you a link. So now we're on to Chris Foreman. Chris, awesome guy, still very active in the sketch community. He's in a bunch of the groups. Some great stuff here. I always sort of love the Cable and Hope storyline, so that's just a really fun version of it, considering how dark the whole storyline is. You don't often see this combination of Mephisto and Cap, so it's a nice one there. So this guy it's a version of Hulk, but he was called Null Breaker of Worlds. And I think it was from Fear itself. I think that's the storyline. And then just a nice work with the shading on the Wolverine there. Yeah, Chris, great guy. He's doing a lot of PSC work this year, personal sketch card work these years. And, in MCCW, you can always, sort of find him and other groups putting some PSCs up for sale. So if you're a fan of his work, I would definitely suggest you seek him out. So this is an artist I don't think a ton of people know about. His name is Chris Moreno, and he didn't do a ton. I mean, he was around in some of the Rittenhouse sets, but just very nice, clean work. I mean, the detail on that Colossus.
I love that Colossus.
A lot.
Yeah. Again, can never argue with a Nightcrawler, right?
Nightcrawler, man. It's like probably the most underrated character for sketch cards ever.
Let's see. What's a typical amount of sketch cards per set? That's a good question. In the Rittenhouse days, it would be anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 set sketches throughout the whole set, depending on the number of boxes, because you got one per box. And the beautiful thing about Rittenhouse is every box was numbered. So you'd see this is box 7 of 8,000. And then you could, figure that out, add in the archive boxes and then the APs, and you could pretty easily tell the total print run of sketches. But these days, when sketches are one per multiple case, I mean, it's super hard to tell, super rare. And again, this Doc Ock, just, again, the little detail he did at the bottom with the city scene, it just adds so much more to the card.
Glow, like the colors chosen for it too, right? Like it just pops. It's so good.
Yeah, and I think I was lucky because when I was collecting these at the time, I was already a big Nightcrawler fan, so I was just picking them up because I like the character, and then fast forward to 2016, all of a sudden he's banned, and you haven't been able to have any sketch cards of him since Masterpieces. So I was able to build up my reserve early on.
Wow.
Craig Jung, another artist with a very distinctive color palette, and just does some really, really nice work and a great combo of storylines here. So you've got AOA Cyclops. I believe this is also AOA. This is Gambit.
Yep.
A version you don't often see.
Ever.
Now, at first, when I first saw this, I was like, is that Wiccan? And I'm like, wait a minute. No, that's Gambit.
Good guess, though.
Yeah, Thor and Odin. It's for me. It's been hard to find a good Odin, and this is, I think, a really great one. And then Reed with the absurd space gun of some sort aiming right at it.
He always has some kind of gadget.
That is his shtick for sure. Let's do so. Dan Borginos again, another one. Dan has been
I like Dan.
years and years. And again, I always want to be careful when I say this, but Dan's work here is excellent. A lot of times his sketch work, it feels a little more rushed, and I don't know if there was just more time back here for some of these sets, but again, something about this set in particular, the average quality just feels much, much higher on this set. Great Cannonball and Doom with the attitude. I do always think it is interesting. I'm not a crazy enough Doom fan that I get upset when his mouthpiece moves, like to show expression. I could see that could be a little annoying, though, if you were a Doom fan. And I get why the artists do it, right? Because how do you show emotion otherwise with a mask? But yeah, it's an interesting one.
That's a good one. I hadn't thought of that.
So this was a nice little foursome I picked up. I'm going to show this one first. So Daniel Horn DeRosa. So I had this Psylocke, which was awesome, and I loved it. But then I came across a set I bought, and I was able to get this foursome, one each of the whole team.
Whoa.
And I just love, it's not a puzzle, but just having all four of them from the same artist on the same stock.
Same set?
Yeah.
Jeez,
I just love that.
That Invisible Woman's great, actually. I
Yeah.
love that one a lot. She's beautiful.
Daniel, this isn't actually Daniel's best set. I think his best set was Bronze Age.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
Bronze Age is good, man. And you don't see. Were there a lot of people who collected Bronze Age? Because I feel like I don't see a lot of sketches from that set.
Yeah, that was like 2014, 15-ish, and I think. Rittenhouse was always popular, and that back in the day where you'd have the shops who would send out emails with all of their hits, and you'd buy and sell via emails and all that. Those crazy days.
Crazy days.
There you go. But yeah, the Bronze Age was definitely a popular set at the time, and since then, again, both because of the quality and because the artist stayed true to the set and were doing characters from Bronze Age. So for me in particular, since that's the era I grew up reading the comics, there are so many scenes from comics that I knew at the time that I just loved it. Danielle Gransall was Danielle Soledad. I can't remember which is her maiden name and which is her married name, but Danielle Soledad and Danielle Gransall are the same artist. And she has this wonderful cartoony, not quite chibi-ish style, but she just does really cute characters. The Black Cat, really nice. I love the way she sort of used the frame on the end to make it look like she was coming out. This is one of my favorites. Just the Black Queen look. Just a nice.
She's a great character to hunt for. You never see her stuff. Who's that, by the way?
That is Megan from X Factor.
Wolf. Wow, that's a deep cut. I don't remember. Wow.
And then again, I don't know the story behind this one. It's just so goofy. I like it. And again, it sort of fits because I mean, in comic lore, he's like what 5'1" or 5'2" max. So, you know,
He was in.
just
We
A
had.
cameo of an accurate size movie in Deadpool and Wolverine. So there you go.
let's get the next ones ready. All right. Yeah, it's interesting doing this with the binder where I'm trying to put some back and then take some out. Ugh. Keeping me moving. All right. So we got two artists here, Daryl Banks and Danae Frazier. So Daryl, this is actually the only one I have from this set. I've got a few of his from other sets. You can't really do this version of the White Queen anymore. So
Why?
Sentry, just a really nice version of Sentry. Great work on the sort of the lines.
Sentry's coming soon, which is pretty crazy.
And then Danae, like does her faces on females are very angular. So once you see one or two of hers, you pick up her style pretty quickly. All right, thank you, Pullen. Wolvie's 5'3". I was trying to rob him. Sorry. Don't want to get him mad at me for saying he's too short. Up and carve me up, right? Wolverine, that is, not Pullen.
Right.
In terms of cartoony, this guy, Denver Brubaker, absolutely love him. Again, just a very cutesy style. And it's a very hit or miss style, right? You either love it or you're like, that's just silly. And I just sort of love the cartoony styles. So I'm a fan. And of these three, the Cyclops is sort of my favorite. But I like that he did sort of the same sort of Kirby Crackle-ish, different pattern backgrounds on all of them.
I think it's cool.
He
I
does
like the weird ones a lot.
What's that?
I like the weird ones a lot. I always have.
Ed Wagner. Ed is still doing sketch cards. He did some for the most recent Wolverine set. So here's 3 from him. Showing a little bit of the variety. Black Widow, Emma, and
that's a freaking great Sauron.
Yeah. Dexter's lifestyle. Yeah, exactly. You get the Emma. And again, you're never gonna see some of these styles in sketch cards again. Not even on artist proofs, because we don't know for sure, but considering Topps took away artist proofs for Star Wars, I would assume it's far easier for them as a company to just do that across all their properties.
So,
but I guess we'll see, unless you know something.
But yeah, I don't want to say. But yes, I don't think we're going to see artist proofs anymore.
All right, let's see if you know who this is. The artist, not the characters.
I've seen a lot of their work. I do not have their name in the back of my head. It's Elaine Perna.
Yes.
She has such a distinct style, and
Exactly.
her characters are awesome.
And hers are really hard to find. She never did a lot for sets, and she only did a few. I want to say she maybe only did 3 Rittenhouse sets.
Which is a shame, because she's great, and she has such a distinct style, too.
Yep. So just great stuff there from Elaine.
I think that's my favorite Elaine piece I've ever seen, the one you're holding. Yeah, I think that's my favorite.
Why?
She has good work, man. So crazy.
Why is it your favorite?
You know what? I don't. I'm not sure. I wonder what that says about
it's
me.
Like Wayne's World, right? Makes me feel all tingly. So this is a guy who, again, you sort of had to. There are some artists you really have to go back and explore Rittenhouse to get a chance to sort of see them and learn about them. And this is one of them. His name's Eli Rutten. And, as you can see from here, he just did some phenomenal work. Like the level of detail on these cards.
And these are homages to covers and famous panels. And
yes.
I think Andy Granoff is the Colossus.
Yep. This one is also Granoff. I mean,
Yep.
what a great version of Colossus, you know?
I mean, like, those are killer sketches. I would love those.
This one is
Alpha
after,
Flight.
who's that after? Engelbaum? After Dale Engelbaum, whoever that is, I don't know.
Yeah.
This one again, Nightcrawler.
Oh, I didn't know that was nice.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Fudge. That's dope.
This one actually isn't an after. Oh wait, no, I lied. There it is. It's way up in the corner, and black pen on blue. My eyes are never going to see that. So it's after somebody though.
I don't know.
Like, he had great homages, and so did what's the name? Tiso, and his last name started with an L.
Oh yeah, Terso Lanetta.
He was great. I like those pieces too.
Yeah, he did some wonderful stuff.
You have is that from Deadpool Wolverine? Professor X's sister?
This is the original comic version. That's Cassandra Nova. Yeah.
What?
Good ID there, huh? Yeah, she was an old woman in the.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I thought so.
Yep. Good. Good identification. I'm impressed.
You know what? I know some character. You know way more than me, but I think it's so cool.
And then we've got. Do you know who this is? I'm going to test your knowledge.
It's not Dead Girl. It's what's the other blue one? No, I don't have the name.
You Go Girl.
Who's that?
That's the character's name. You Go Girl.
No way.
UGO Girl. Yep. This is from Ecstatics. Mark, the Colossus artist is Eli Rutten, Rutten. This character is also from Ecstatics, which was a X Factor spinoff when they sort of redid it as like a reality show. This is Venus de Milo because her limbs can come off.
Yes, that character's
Always blown my mind. I've always been a huge fan of that character. That's just so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bizarre sort of power set, but you know, Elvis did a great job there. And what a cool name, right? Elvis Mora.
that is a cool name.
This is Eric Ninoltowski is the artist. I've only got one of him. You remember who this dude is? This guy, when he came out, I remember at the time, he was one of my favorites because of his power set.
He's not AOA.
He's from X-Men. I just don't remember.
Yeah, he's from X Factor specifically.
X Factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know his name. I don't remember it.
I'll give you a hint. His name is pretty random.
That's right. It's random. I forgot it was random. I always forget it's random. We had that ongoing joke between you, Spidey. Like, I swear to God, everybody had a stream where we were just
It's like
random.
a who's on first kind of take.
Yeah, it was like a random pun every day. That was a good time.
Pullen got it. All right, so this guy is another one of my absolute key artists. So this is Aman Casalos.
I love that Howard. I've seen that Howard for so many years now.
When
And
it
that artist
was
is
on
one of-
Sketch Collectors for years, and when I finally got the chance to grab it, I was so happy. I mean, there's so much
stupid nice.
about this card to love, right?
I don't know what it. I think it's the best Howard Duck to ever come out.
I mean,
I think
on the comics, right? You can see he's holding a
No.
Hulk comic. Civil War's on the ground. That's an X-Men comic. Wearing a Punisher shirt. I mean,
I'm gonna say right here, top 3 best Howard the Duck sketch cards ever to exist. I'm calling it here. Prove me wrong, internet.
Red Skull, great version there. I'm going to hold this one for a second. So he also did this whole subset of Dragon Ball Z tribute cards.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, so I've got 2 of them. And especially here, the scrolls, you can definitely see it, right?
Oh, 1,000%.
And then, on that version of Nick Fury.
That's pretty cool. Who's the little person in there? It looks like a Vegeta clone, but I can't tell who that character is.
You know what? Every once in a while, your voice fades and gets really quiet. And sort of it gets that fishbowl effect. And then it usually comes back after about 10 seconds. So, not the worst thing in the world, but I figured I'd at least point it out to you.
Thank you.
And then, so this one is, so this one's probably one of my favorite Wonder Mans, just because it's just such a great rendition. Probably one of the few I would just hold on to religiously. just because it is such a key artist. But this one, the detail on this and the team that's in here, I mean, it's just absurd. I mean, you got, so it's all AOA, all League of Apocalypse. You got Colossus, Jean, Quicksilver, Rogue, Wolvie, Storm, Archangel in the middle, and then Magneto. And so you get 8 characters on a 2.5 by 3.5 sketch card. That's just, come on. And even here, you're not really, it's not going to focus well enough to really let you see the detail on the faces. Trust me when I say it's there.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I agree, Shire, that you did great work on there. What's up, Jordan? Pardon me, beverage. All right, who do we have next? Eric Mail. So only get 2 from Eric in this set, but Eric, again, another artist with a very, very distinct style. Once you've seen a couple of them, he does do a lot of characters with the white power eyes, which some people love, some people don't. I'm going to test you now. You know who that is?
Got my mic.
In an upcoming MCU movie.
Ghost.
Yep, very good. Yep, the comics version of Ghost.
That's actually a great Ghost too. I've never seen that
It
card.
is.
I have a Ghostbuster State Puff by Eric. It's just so stupid good.
Why, you just riffed on Ghost to Ghostbusters?
Oh yeah, got it here somewhere.
I was like, wait, where's he going with this? Like,
It's connected. It's connected.
Eugene Commodore. Eugene, again, another guy who's been out forever. This, I might have 2 Cosmic Spider-Mans, but I just love this one. And then, again, a lot of AOA in Marvel Universe 11 as well, so really nice Wolvie there. Only get 1 from this artist, Fernando Gil. He was around for a lot of the set, but not all of his were quite as detailed for my curation goals, let's just say. And that's not to say they're bad. This set in particular, I'm super picky. And then Fernando, I'm going to call it Shade, Scheiddt. I might be butchering it for all I know. And if I am, I apologize. But I'm using that as the intro because I do have a few more from him. And so you'll see, even though I can't potentially pronounce his name, I love his style.
It's really nice.
And again, back in the time where you could still have blood, torn costumes, being shot by bullets, just something you don't get anymore. Jordan, these are all, I'm doing my whole Marvel Universe 2011 binder. So we're up to going by first name, we're up to the Fs. So where am I? Oh my God. We're at an hour and we're only on the Fs. Ooh.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll need a part 2. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And don't let me, I know sometimes you need to run. Don't let me drag you out if you need to go.
I am hanging out. I probably got another 30, 40 minutes in me, and I am trying to hook up this stupid microphone, which I've been needing to do forever.
Yeah. And again, just this one's got blood and a ripped costume, both of which aren't allowed anymore. So we'll love that. Frank Kadar is next, sticking with the Fs. Got a pair from him. Again, it's nice to see multiple characters. So you've got sort of the Secret Invasion vibe here with the Watcher and the different versions of the Skrulls. And then a really nice, 6-character X-Man portrait one here. Just such good work.
Really nice.
Yeah, the game. So my goal always was to eventually do every one of my sets. It's just sometimes it's so hard to find the time, but my goal is to at least start it here, and maybe I'll need a second part to get through this. But I want to try to keep with the regular cadence just because I love showing these off, talking about them, talking about the artists. I think there are, especially back here, there are a lot of artists that not enough people know about. And I'm not going to lie. There was definitely a time, and I know, and I'm sure you were like this too, before we really kind of committed to the whole character idea. There was a time where you, as a collector, you were hesitant to talk about the cards you loved, and even now, you still sort of see it, right? We have both seen examples where somebody is like, oh, who are some really good artists, and we're excited and we talk about it, and then the next day you see this person snapping up all of those that you just said, and you're like, wait, what? Like, are you just getting them because I said you like them? Like, part of the fun of the sketch card journey is learning what you really like, and there's nothing wrong with investing. I think investing in sketch cards, I would not recommend it because it's cyclical. You get peaks of buyers markets and sellers markets. Right now, we're absolutely in a buyers market because a lot of people are dumping. And artists, sometimes you get big collectors who like certain artists. You've got some big collectors who just figure out who the popular artists are and they just spend thousands and thousands on them, and they just buy them without potentially any love behind them. And George Davis is a great example that took a sidetrack before I got back to him. That again, he's been around, he's done some of these sets, and just again, this wonderful work, like the detail he put into the background with the city there, and the way the over here the building sort of faded a little bit because of the lighting. I just did some wonderful.
It's great.
Work. I'm just gonna put down Heaney mode for a second. That's the only Heaney I have, but obviously you know why I like that one.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's always nice when I can get a pack pulled Danny. So that's a great one.
So you're mixing your Dannies in the sketch collection? You don't have those separate?
No, I don't, because the only Dannies I have separate are the base cards because I grade them. So my Danny sketches just live with the artists.
That's cool.
So we've got Heaney. We've also got Irma Ahmed, AOA Cyclops, and then just another one where I only have one, Jason Sobel with Cap, Thor, and Iron Man, sort of the base guys, the base team.
The base team.
I mean, if it was Justice League, it would be the Trinity, right?
Yeah.
So another cartoony guy whose work I absolutely love, he's still doing comics, he's still around, and you can still get him to commission stuff, is Jay Foskett.
That's cool.
Jay is like a true cartoonist, and I mean, it just showed just with how absolutely clean these are. You've got this puzzle with the two of them, just the fun with Impossible Man playing with the character and what he can do.
Oh.
Jay is just awesome. Yeah, Dark Side. That's why I'm scared to share sketches. I feel like it's part of your development as a collector. That eventually you get to the point where you're like, is it really going to make that much of a difference? Because in this day and age, how many unknown artists are there really, right? Like, not that many. Like,
I think people are vindictive. I've never had good experience with this. It's happened to me a lot where people have come after sketches that I was into. I've always had to fight for sketches, always. Yeah. And it was just not, you remember, like it has not been an easy road at all. And I actually stopped sharing my sketches. Matt remembers this for a long time.
Yeah. Purposely.
And I wouldn't show them. I show APs that I did. And then because I couldn't find, nothing, I just stopped. Like there are sketches here now that I probably have that I've shown maybe once, not even twice.
I think I have, on a personal level, I've gotten to the point where, you know what, if I never got another sketch, I'm super happy with where I am.
That's where I'm at.
So I don't mind sharing the knowledge now. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot of people talk about, you can't keep secrets and knowledge is power. I mean, it goes both ways. And you can't criticize someone for wanting to be cautious. But again, I'm finally at the point where it's like, you know what? If someone beats me out on a card I'm after because I turned them onto it, okay, I can live with that. You know,
Anyone
I,
tells you that it's not cool to keep
oh,
secrets and all this stuff, they're bold-faced lying, and they've
re-
kept secrets. I'm being a little hardcore, but I honestly mean that.
I realized I didn't talk about these artists. So this is JC Fable. JC,
Yes.
another like vibrant inker. So once
Yeah.
you kind of notice him, that's a very distinct style. These three are Jeff Confer. Again, Jeff has a very sort of his males are very angular. Again, this is a lot of times people show me a sketch and like, who's this? And I'm like, oh, that's so and so. Most of the time, it's because of some distinct aspect of the artist style. Or they have a very obviously if I can match the signature that works. But
Well,
Jeff's
Jeff Confer is actually a perfect example of like, you should talk about whatever you want to talk about, but
I know what you're gonna say.
because it's true though, right?
It
Like,
is,
let's be
but yeah,
real. Like
but it's okay.
Jeff Confer was that artist
Yeah,
where people started talking about it, and then suddenly they were disappearing and then being sold very quickly.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Again, it's part of it, and again, I don't think it's always done with malice.
No, I don't
And
think it's malice. I just
no,
think like, I think it's just one of those things that happens. I'm not saying anybody's at fault. I'm
yeah,
just saying like, make sure you're happy with your collection.
yeah. Make
And I
sure you're
think
getting
it's
it for a
yeah,
reason that matters to you. Yeah, because
yeah.
yeah, we've seen some people who jump into stuff and then unfortunately they got to sell it. And a lot of times that ends up at a loss, and we don't. Nobody wants to see that.
No, and it happens to everybody. Me,
Yeah,
Matt, like everybody. It's just part of the whole card world. It's not a bad thing. It's just,
yeah,
if you are collecting something, share it with a few close friends before you like
yeah.
really go wild by sharing it with everybody.
I think, again, there's hundreds of thousands of sketch cards out there. So there's an opportunity for all boats to rise together in this and to not have it be cutthroat. It can be at times, there are times when opportunities pop and you can't share them with everybody. So it happens. Two more from Fear itself. What is this guy's name? His name is, I got to go to my notes on this one. This is Greethoth, Breaker of Wills. So that was like Null Breaker change. That's Greethoth, Breaker of Wills, which I believe is Drax. I think that's Drax, not 100%. And this is Titania in Fear itself, who became Skern.
Oh wow. I like her as a character. She's cool. She's from She-Hulk, right?
Yes. Yep. And from more recently, Hulk, she's part of Gamma Flight now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that whole, I can't stop talking about that whole Hulk run with the Immortal Hulk. It was so good.
Great. Man, these are great.
So this is Jen Mercer. Jen does wonderful, wonderful portraits. And I think I love them all. This Magneto, though,
Sick.
it's both the portrait and just using the metal balls to show off the power set. I just love that. The cable, just great detail on it and great color work as well. And I love this one because it's not a deep cut if you've read the comic, but you know who this is and from where?
Toad,
And from
right?
where, though?
Oh, from where? I don't. I'm looking at the red metal thing on his shoulder, but I don't know.
So he's in this one. He works for Shield. This is from House of M.
House of M.
Yep.
Man, your House of M references are amazing.
It's one of my favorite stories. I mean, a lot of people know. Again, for a while I kept it quiet, but now that I've shared it, a perfect example. I was collecting from the Avengers. What set was it? Fleer Ultra Avengers. I was collecting the House of M cuts, and there were definitely a few times where one or two people knew and offered me sketches at cuts at high prices, but there were also a lot of people who did great. Who got me a lot? Was it? I think it was Dan Rubin. He got me quite a few through his polls. So again,
That's nice of him.
When you get to know people and build up good relationships. If it isn't him, I'm going to be embarrassed, but I think it was him.
There's a lot of good people out there. Like, I mean, I'm pretty public with my character, and everybody always sends me Iceman, and I just really appreciate it. So no, everyone, people are mostly good. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about are like the few things that were just like a pain, but people are like mostly good. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I I'm sure I want to get into it. I think there's probably yes, there are great people in the hobby. Most people, the vast majority of people in the hobby are awesome because we all share this goofy little fandom, and that's it. So,
Whoa, those are crazy.
Yeah, so this is Joe St. Pierre. Joe,
Joe St. Pierre.
Very specific references. So you got Loki with Dormammu. Can you see everybody in the background? You see like Thor's back there.
No, what?
Doctor Strange in the upper left-hand corner.
Oh my God! Yeah, now I do.
Yeah. Thor right under Loki's chin. Hulk.
I totally missed it. Holy shit!
It's super detailed. Again, this nice one.
That's awesome.
Just Joe does every set Joe was in. He did super detailed levels, super detail oriented cards like this. And yeah, I would love to get more of his cards. Absolutely great work.
Good.
Another one, a guy who's been a workhorse for years, John Watkins Chow.
I like
green. And speaking of House of M, it's House of Magnus. With Magneto and Polaris.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah. John has a very, it's not as detailed. He's very angular, very stylized. I really love his work. I've loved his work since 2008 Topps Lord of the Rings. So I think he does great stuff. Right. Okay. I got to go out of order here. And then there's something in the back too, isn't there? Oh, I haven't even filed that one yet, have I? Okay. I just got a new one from a different artist, but let me share my favorite John Watkins Chow from this set. Another puzzle.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Nice Age of Apocalypse going on there.
Damn, you got Blink right in the center too and everything.
Yep. Yeah, just a great selection of characters.
It's like the movie poster, man. That's amazing.
You're probably noticing that somewhere around 85% of these cards are mutants. Shocker, right? Since
that's cool though. I think that's good.
And again, I would be willing to bet. So I think right now I've got probably about 400 from this set. So I've got a lot, but I'd be willing to bet over the years I've had close to 800 in my collection, and I have traded. I have curated it down to the point where I'm very selective about what I have. This is one of my favorite sketch cards from the set. It's just so silly, chibi, Quicksilver racing a turtle, racing the tortoise, and
he's the best. I love Jomar. So good.
There we go. Put him up.
I love Jomar.
And Jomar,
this is so good.
Yeah, and Jomar's one of those, and I've said this probably 100 times, so people are probably sick of hearing it, but Jomar's work, well, actually, this isn't true so much anymore with this newer work, but Jomar's work is one where you really appreciate it at arm's length. That's where the composition falls into place and the detail. Like if you look too closely, you get lost in some of the lines and you can't really see it, but the second you hold it at this length, which is about the length of the camera actually, so it works out pretty well.
I think people, it's funny, and Matt knows this. Poor Matt's had to deal with me over the years talking about sketch cards so often. But I have probably on my computer at least 800, 900, some stupid number of Silver Surfer sketch cards I've seen over the year. Saved all of them, and I've seen, other than one collector who doesn't talk to anybody, which I imagine is where all the really good Silver Surfer stuff is, like the crazy stuff. Like most of these artists, Surfer, like the really unique artists that did things really unique, I know they're all hiding there. And even the other Surfer guy I know, who's our buddy Yoribo, Seen all of his sketches. Luckily, he's been very kind to do that. So, it's funny because Matt's seen examples of all these artists across all different sets. So I'm always so happy to see his collection because, especially since you guys are on his channel, you have to understand you're looking at something that's been really refined and really looked at over the years and really have seen such good comparisons that you're really looking at some of the better, if not the best examples of each of these artists' work in the collection, which is always the thing that always blows me away because I'm like, oh my God, like that Archangel, I've seen that artist a lot and I've never seen them do that. Like, that's just crazy cool.
Yeah. And I've got, I actually have from him, you know what? I'm going to cheat and jump ahead because I don't think we're going to get to it today because there's just too much to go over. But I will share one of these. So the other thing I do for artist proofs, I actually put them in an 8x10 top loader and have a sleeve for them. So these are all John Hughes, who was retired from sketch cards. But I was able to, I reached out to him and he did have some of his actual old APs.
No.
So I commissioned some from him.
Oh, fudge. That magma. My God. I mean, the magic is amazing.
Yeah, it sucks that he retired because he's so good.
He was awesome. That magma. Oh my God. That's like my favorite.
And I believe, and he is, what's the right word? I want to say preacher, but I think I don't know if it's priest, but he works in the religious industry and that sort of in the faith industry, and that's sort of what he does full time, which is awesome. But I miss him as an artist because he just does such. He did.
I like his work a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny talking about Free here and Jordan and Full and Fire, Human Torch Collector. Free's funny. I've been talking to Free for a while now, and Free's great. You guys know who Free is, but Free has very similar taste to you and I, Matt, with sketches. Like, he's been buying certain pieces and looking at them, and he can tell. It's really funny to see him pull sketch cards together because it just reminds me of all the discovery I did back in the day, and I love what he's picking up. Just putting such a good collection together.
Yeah, and that's been the beauty of a lot of the character focused stuff too, and part of the reason it's become easier, I think, for me to be willing to just share with people because we're meeting people in the context of understanding how much we all share as collectors versus if someone you randomly run into and it feels like they're sort of picking your brain for a profit.
No, it doesn't feel. Yeah.
So
I don't feel like I should also be like taken out for a meal and shown a good time before I'm asking questions about Marvel cards. You know what I mean? It's like from real collectors. You know what I mean? I'm not like being courted. But man, this is such a good artist. Rick Ortiz has put together a crazy collection.
Yeah, Joshua Flower just does, again, his detail and his distinct style is just so good. Right? A great
I love it.
And I think a lot of times you can tell how much I love an artist by how, like, I have 3 and only one's a mutant, right? Because I'm just grabbing good examples.
Human Torch, though, I've never seen that.
Yeah, just wonderful.
That's for his style. That is like the perfect. Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. And look at the color.
Great classic Miss Marvel there.
And the glow.
Ooh.
Oh, awesome. Free. I'm glad you got the pog. Yeah. The boys all got their pogs. There's no Danny Moonstar, but someone posted some hologram pogs that were at 95 that I've never seen. I got the Surfer ones in the mail, too. That guy did a great job. Did you get your cut, by the way, Matt?
Yes, I did. It came in. Thank you. I still don't know how you saw that. You must have seen it the second it popped.
That's what's happening. It's like if I'm not catching it, someone else is. So I'm just like I'm trying, but I'm getting tired of looking at my phone. I'm really tired of looking at my phone.
So this guy is Juan. He goes by Tonio Fontanez, and again another artist that was kind of only around during the Rittenhouse era.
I don't know this one at all.
Yeah, he does nice work, and again the Nightcrawler, really great detail there.
I love that. Yeah,
Just the storm, and I like the angle on this. I like the earring. I like that the power eyes aren't just the white. He's got the electricity coming from it.
Yeah.
Such good work there.
It's very like pop art. You know what I mean? Like it feels very modern. It feels like it has a lot of cool like style to it.
And then after this, we have there we go. So again, in terms of distinct styles, once you know about Justin Chung, like
Immediately.
very muted watercolor work is just fantastic. Just does such good work.
Amazing.
It's just very subtle colors. It works so well.
I love it. I like him a lot. I've never seen a surfer one from him.
And this one's Catherine Lano, Layno, Lano. Nice Vampire Jubilee.
I like Vampire Jubilee. There's a Vampire Jubilee card out there like a couple of times. Dangerous Divas.
Yep.
And there was another one too. I forgot, but I was like, man, you picked Vampire Jubilee, like what a deep cut.
Yeah, you get Vampire Jubilee and Vampire Storm turn up a fair amount.
Shockingly so, yeah.
So when we talk about, so I'm just going to come out as I'm already doing it. I'm not going to change my mind now. When you talk about being afraid to share certain artists, this was probably one of the best examples for me. And it's not like this artist an unknown artist, but I think when you start to look at the breadth of their work, you start to realize what they brought to the table. So this is one of my absolute key artists, probably top 3 for me. So yeah, let's just do it. So this is Cat L'Orange.
Oh wow!
Cat has a wonderful. I would call it like a Disney-esque style.
Yes. That's cool.
Reminds me a little of like a little more. I don't want to say polished because that implies that she's not, but kind of like Tansa 2.0.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Because I love Tansa.
I do too.
But I love their whole.
I
love their whole trinity: Kokonakis,
No, me
Fabisto,
too.
and Tansa.
Yeah, I think the better word is more like this one's man. Hers is very stylistic in her poses and composition. This feels like this artist is doing like multiple different types of compositions and scenes and things like that.
Yeah, her work.
They're great. That's awesome.
I will fight hard for any one of her cards that pops. This Shadowcat.
Legion. Legion.
Legion.
AOA.
Yep.
Oh, is that AOA Mystique?
Yep.
Damn. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen that version.
Yeah, like a vast majority of her set was AOA time frame. And
I feel like I see more AOA renditions of characters from the Marvel Universe and Bronze Age. Maybe?
Yeah, I think it's because of the timing. I think it was sort of a recent storyline.
I think so too. That's a good Sabretooth. That's a great Nightcrawler, man. That's like a stupid nice Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I love all of his where he's using the sword. And
that's really nice.
Like, a lot of these just feel like they've got almost a Disney animation cell vibe to them.
I like them a lot. I like the colors. I like the poses.
Yeah, Sabretooth and Wild Child. Great color on the Storm. And we'll end it. I say we will be.
Dope.
Yeah.
Great one. Great one.
So it's out there. I love Cat L'Orange.
Darkseid said he helped you out with that cap.
I showed you Cat Pirate made an offer on. I thought you may. Oh, so it's yes. Not from the set, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
cool.
I love Cat in any set whatsoever. I
That's
just
cool.
cannot. We're going to come up.
That's really cool.
One of my other key artists is in this particular set too. Coming up in the L's. Can you guess who it is? I go by first name.
it wouldn't be Lydia Lee.
No, she wasn't.
would be-
She wasn't doing them at this.
She
time.
wasn't in this by then. L. Now I'm drawing a blank.
Initials are LL actually.
What is her name? I only know her signature.
Him.
Oh, then I have no idea who you're talking about. I'm like in the dark here. I just stumbled around and fell down a pit.
His name's Lack Lim.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Well, shit. Yeah. Lack Lim is the best.
So he's coming up into two artists. So Kevin West is another one who I absolutely love. His portraits, he does such good portraits. And they're not like this is a great example. A lot of his detail comes with the combination of the shading, but the color. Like his color work is what really defines these. Like, look at the face. There's not a ton of lines there, but he's got multiple tones on the face and the hair as well, and that just really makes his pop. And the
It's a great Doom.
Yeah.
Look at Free. Look at Free. Free's in pain. He's hurting. You poor bastard. Sorry, buddy. Killing me, Matt. Oh, that's so funny.
Kristen Allen, again, another one. Where once you've seen a few of hers, you'll know her distinct style.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. I just love, again, both the style on her characters and then her color palette. Just a lot of fun.
That's like awesome. So everyone's just like, damn, this is an education, folks. Like, this is good stuff.
All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the L's, and then I think I'm going to wrap it up.
This is awesome.
Because I got a little bit more to go. Okay, so there's the Lacks. I have to pull a lot for Lack Lim because I'll get quite a few. All right, let's do another one of my key artists, Lack Lim. I've got over 100 of his at this point, so if you guys want to fight me for it, go for it. You know what? I think I'm at a point where I can stop.
That's great.
So again, Lack has a very, very detailed. Did Rich do set? Let me see. Ryan Kincaid, Roy, Rich would be back here. That's Remy, Rhiannon, Richard. I don't think so. I'd be surprised if I didn't have a Rich Henneman for the set. So I don't think he did. Not on this set. But he was around in this era, for sure. To answer that question.
Man, Archangel. That's deep. That's harsh. That might be one of the only ones I've ever seen with that character. That's pretty deep.
Well, because that's when he was Death, one of Apocalypse's horsemen.
For horseman. But yeah.
Nice Bishop.
Bishop.
The
Good
cap
cap.
doesn't really fit here, but it's just a nice cap. You don't often see Colossus half transformation.
Mid transformation.
Yeah,
Classic
Mystique
yellow
you see a
curvy
lot.
dot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't see Colossus changing, and on the farm too, which is cool.
Sometimes with Lack, his are a little. His guys not angular. His guys tend to be a little skinnier, like they're a little drawn out. But I like that style. Again, I think some people have pointed it out before and haven't appreciated it. And I'm like, okay,
I love it.
More for me.
I think it's great.
A lot of his, I don't think they were in this set, but he did some incentive work before too that you could only get through the incentives, but not for this set. I believe they were all pack modes. So again, some other nice ones. Cyclops with Onslaught. I love Onslaught. Chuck turning into him. Silver Samurai, Silver Samurai was a great character. I really enjoyed him.
He's a great character.
I don't think you got enough love. All right, and then my last three. Yeah, the Storm, I love. The Super Skrull is actually one of the very first Lack Lim sketches I ever got. And just the very detailed style is what initially drew me to him.
Wow.
It's again just
so good.
And the background too. And this is just such.
You never see that Wolverine.
Just
you never see
angles on him too. It's a beautiful angle.
Stupid cool. Stupid good one. I didn't even realize that was Lack Lim.
It was indeed. Oh, wait, that's wrong. God, I put a card in the wrong place and almost had an aneurysm. All right, we're almost. We got a couple more in the extra. Well, we get 2. All right, we got 3 more pages, and then I'm going to call it. So, this next guy, he unfortunately passed away in 2022, I believe. And when he's one that, if you weren't around in the Rittenhouse or you haven't gone back, you probably don't know him. And I'm going to make a bold statement here. I think some of his work is on par with Nar's work. So his name is Larry Schloecki. Or actually, sorry.
You told me about
Larry
this.
Slickaway is actually how you pronounce his last name. I finally remembered that's why he writes Slickaway. It's a play on his name. It's actually the phonetic pronunciation of his name.
I always wondered about that. Yeah.
So there's a bunch of his, and a bunch of his from this set were also jams, which adds extra appeal to me. So this Doom, sorry.
Sorry,
This
Free.
Doom is a jam between Slickaway and Chris Cabby Bradbury.
Were they were the jams also the big puzzles, or was that Slickaway alone?
The one puzzle I have was just Slickaway. Yep. This Archangel is a jam with Megan Hetrick. This one's just him by himself. And the Doom, the Strange, is one just by himself.
He did a Silver Surfer 4 puzzle card. I don't know where that is. And that
I
thing
have
is a
one
monster.
puzzle, not Surfer. I'll be sharing it shortly. Iron Fist. So the Iron Fist and the Namor Iron Man were just him by himself. The Hulk one, the first one with the fist, is a jam with Richard Cox.
Whoa.
Yep. And the second one is a jam with Tim Shea.
Oh wow. He hung out with everybody. Damn.
Yeah, they did. There were a lot of them who were friends and did jams. Rihanna did some. I can't remember if any of their stuff were, but this one in particular, I just love that detail.
That's a great Hulk. I remember seeing that Hulk back in the day. I think that's like
But
one of the more iconic ones.
The level of detail in the background here.
No, you can't even, unless you have it in hand, you really don't understand the work. Like, it really is NAR level. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
And then 2 more before the puzzle.
Ugh.
I don't know why he's out of order. I don't know why Dokken is back there. That shouldn't be. Oh, because I just recently got that, and that's right. Now I remember.
This is so stupid cool.
Yeah, so.
Free. We've all been there, Free. You're not alone.
Great one.
That's like one of the best.
This one is actually another jam. This is also with Cabby.
Cabby's great. I love Cabby.
And the Dakin, I believe, is just him.
You don't see a lot of Dakin either. Listen up here. Yeah.
Okay, so now, yeah.
Man, that's cool, Matt. Oh, yeah, that's the one you have. I forgot.
Yeah.
Stupid cool.
Yeah, I love that one.
That's just so stupid cool.
Definitely one of the best puzzles I have.
Oh, I mean, amazing.
Yeah. I got rid of a lot of Carnages because I was able to trade them for mutants, but this one, no. This one.
No, you got to keep that one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard because, like, sometimes a sketch card
Might not be a character you collect. Luckily, I haven't. Luckily, I try to steer away from it because otherwise I'd be depressed. It's just too much to collect. But sometimes you get sketch cards that are just kind of historical. You know what I mean? And that Carnage is kind of a big one. It's a great Havoc. Fuck.
Yeah,
It's a great
That's
Havoc.
Goldberg. They did some great work.
That's a great Havoc.
Louis Antonio, whose work is always strong.
I like his stuff. And FFA, I love his stuff.
Just this one in particular, just the inks
good.
on this, super clean. Venom, just a cool character. All right, we're down to the last two characters before we finish the L's and wrap this up.
Matt, this binder is stunning.
There's Luke Smarto. Again,
I love
one
that
of those artists that, you know, you got to sort of look back in time to really find their stuff.
I've never seen that Scarlet Witch. That Scarlet Witch is epic.
Yeah, and just great use of, 3 different tones of sort of red and pink in there. It just really works, though. And
On the stuff.
the Spidey. Great angle, great background, just awesome stuff. And then to wrap it off, the last artist will be Lynn Anderson.
Oh.
So we have Magneto, Destiny and Mystique, Squirrel Girl,
Great Squirrel Girl.
and Storm.
Pieces.
And there you go. So let's see. Where did that get me through here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is awesome, Matt. This was such a cool segment.
So that got us through 27 binder pages. $19 more to go, plus all the APs. So there we go. We can make a part 2. I don't know. If I'm feeling crazy, I'll do it tomorrow. Because I know I can't do it next weekend because I'm finally for real going away next weekend. Finally.
Did?
Yes.
Locked in?
As locked in as it could be. Yes. So, hey, all right, let's see. What do we get from comments? Let's see. I picked up Josh's blaming. I'm getting blamed. Okay, what am I getting blamed for? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, sketch cards are such a cool thing, you know.
They're awesome.
Jordan say, hey, Matt, are some of these from that Big Lothor's Fairlands auction? So yes, Jordan, the answer is yes. I still also have about I still have some that didn't make the initial cut, but that's because I'm working with someone to help them fill in at a collection level. So I've got to make some of those available there first. And then I will potentially bring those back. But yes, like for example, the 4 Fantastic Four ones from Daniel HDR were from that. Definitely a lot of cool stuff in that lot for sure, though. Yeah. Somebody offered up a collection. It was a master sketch set. I was able to fill in some gaps and get some extra ones.
Nice.
And yeah, I was super happy. There were some really nice ones.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, get rid of this. Stop sharing. There we go. Yeah. Cool. And I appreciate you hanging out. I mean, these are just fun, you know? Like I said, I'm at the point now where I don't want to say I don't care, but because that implies that I could care, you know what I mean? We all know there's just some challenges to sharing information, to sharing knowledge. Like you and I know there's something coming up next weekend that I've been sharing, but I've been cautious with the sharing.
You have to be.
Tune in next weekend, a little early. I would say, mid-afternoon to late afternoon, early evening. There's going to be some videos There's going to be a big announcement kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
totally
have nothing to do with this. I
No,
do
you
not.
don't.
I'm over here safe. Okay, tag somebody else this time. Okay, I
Yeah,
want
there
nothing
you
to do with this. But I support my friends, so if anything, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'm with my buddies. But it's gonna be kind of crazy.
Yeah, and there's a couple things that are going to be there too. Like I think we're going to have some info on OAX that we're releasing as well. So
So excited.
it's going to be an eventful Saturday for sure. That's all I can say.
IX is gonna be great, man. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. That's all I can say.
It's gonna be wild.
So yeah, you got anything fun coming up?
No, you're making me look at my servers, making me sad. Because now I'm like, well, there's just one sketch I'm never gonna get. That is, I just.
Oh, you're going
I'll
back
never-
to the saved ones.
I
So
just
that's-
like, just depressing. So it's
Oh.
weird, you see so many of these.
I just realized I do have one more thing to share because we're on the L's. I skipped over J.
Oh yes, yes.
Totally forgot about
Got you.
this.
Yes.
These were incentives from Marvel Universe 2011, and I totally forgot. And so Jim Kyle did a whole series of these where he did a pencil version, an ink version, and a full color version. And they were actually shipped as incentives in these holders right here. So you can see each one's a sketch card. There are a bunch of them out there. I have two with a third in the pipe. So we get the Havoc. Ooh. I also have an Apocalypse.
Oh,
really
I've never
good.
seen that one. Havoc is amazing. This is crazy too.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I think that's a really
and
nice.
I'm pretty
Havoc.
sure one of these. I think the Havoc is one I got from that collection sale.
Yeah,
I
think so.
I can't remember.
That was a good pick, by the way.
It was one of those.
Like,
yeah, no,
I remember that. I was smart.
Happy. Can't believe I skipped this. The game. Where will it be announced? So there will be a video on a YouTube channel. It'll probably get shared to mine, but I won't be the primary. There will be a post in the official Marvel Card Group, which is the current title. If you guys aren't there, go take a look. And there will also, hopefully, if everything works correctly, I'll be doing a video live in MCCW. So we're hoping to broadcast it at three places: live in MCCW, someone else will be going live in the official Marvel Card Facebook group, and then it'll be on a YouTube channel. So we'll have three different angles of this event. So yeah, enough said. Yeah,
I'm laughing. I wanted the context to be that I'm laughing because it's just so funny. So many epic
the
things
universe is funny. The universe
is funny. The universe is funny. It's so epic. There's so many epic things happening in the hobby right now that I'm just kind of blown away by it. You know what I mean? It's so many interesting things are happening right now. I'm excited to see like a lot of things getting offloaded. That's been awesome.
I just realized when you shrunk our pictures, I forgot you made this background for me. I was like, wow, there's a cool sketch card. Wait a minute.
Those are mine.
And then actually, I mentioned in the top center that Jean on the, she's using her telekinetic powers to make herself a little swing when I Butch Mappa, when I chose the Cyclops. So
it's so good. I just hovered over my mouse over it.
Yeah, exactly. People can see it.
But it's so awesome. All these are beautiful.
Yeah, I did cherry pick the ones for that, didn't I?
But it looks good though. It looks really nice.
Yeah,
it looks clean.
Some great ones in there.
Cool. I'm thinking about surfers. This is fun, Matt. Thank you for inviting me to this. This was like really awesome.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for the people who showed up. Hope it was interesting, and I doubt I'm going to do it tomorrow now that I've said that out loud. So I'll make a plan for when I can do part 2. and that I'll try to keep. I'm going to do my best to keep it a regular cadence to try and go through all these and just show the stuff. I still need to get it either on Sketch Collectors or in the Discord. There's some like I started out with a vengeance on the Discord, and I got through like 250. And
You did a lot.
then life and I'm not even halfway through MM16 though, right?
It's a lot of cards. I think the video series is good, and I think when you make your website, having these video series, you can just have them on the site in a list, and people can go back and watch these lives and take the tour of your binders. You know what I mean? Like
it feels like at some point, right? Just watching the growth of AI, it feels like at some point I'm going to be able to put into chat and AI, take all of my cards in these folders, create a website to display them similar to blank, with the file name converting into names on the website, because I use this convention with, everything before the first dash is artist, everything after the second dash is set, something like that, where it's going to be as simple as typing in a prompt, and it's going to do most of the framework, right? And then obviously there'll be some detailed stuff to do, but I'm sort of in my head, I'm justifying not doing it before then by waiting for it to just be so easy.
it's coming. I mean, honestly, honestly, too, like, Jesus, man, using, I don't know, like what set are you up to in your binders?
They're all done.
What's the last? You scary mother.
Yeah. If I was on my phone instead of my webcam, I could pull it into the room and show you. I've got 4 bookshelves full of the binders. They're done. That's why there's nothing over there anymore, right? That used to be all those shelves.
I was wondering.
Yeah. So, you know what I do have to fix though? It drives me crazy. Let me see if I can.
What?
I hate pointing like this. No, I get it. See those 2 in the background? See the top row? You've got Havoc, you've got Bishop, Domino,
Yeah.
Kid Omega. The last 2, the way they go up like that drives me crazy when I see it from this angle. I thought it would look good because my idea was I was going to do 3 of the little ones down and then 4 of the littlest ones down. But without them all there, it just looks like I'm trying to go off to like the infinity line.
You can't really tell.
But yeah, I've got
They all just look good.
I have a few more to finish up. I've got about half of them. I think I told you I finally got my local framer to carry the conservation clear non-glare. So I've been reglassing everything, and I'm about halfway done now. I do basically like 3 a week.
And it's completely
World changing.
Oh yeah,
right?
I mean it absolutely. I mean, I have an easy example. So, which one that doesn't have it? So this one. You can probably see it. So, all right. So I've got this prelim here. So if I hold it up, so you can probably see my computer. You can see my computer pretty clearly, right? You can see the screen. Versus this one, which I haven't hung yet. But this one, if I hold it up, I guess you can see it. But see how it's more blurry. It's just, you can see it because it's got glass, but the difference is with this one, you could almost read it. It's so reflective.
It's hard.
Yeah, there. Right. You can see all the pictures. Yeah. So it makes a big difference.
It looks like it makes a big difference.
Difference. That's really nice.
Yeah, because you're never going to have that much. When you're looking at it, there's never that much light going at it. So,
No.
I've got a 72 inch, not 72, what's that? 48-inch widescreen monitor, so it's super bright.
No,
It brings out the yellow in my skin. I'm going for that nouveau jaundice look. Anyhow, on that note, thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you, as always, Fausto, for joining me.
Always.
And stay tuned. It'll probably be on this channel, but if not, you'll know the announcement when you see it next Saturday, and it's going to be awesome. A few of you in the chat know about it. It'll be awesome. But anyways, that's it. Thanks everybody, And I will see you next time for the second half. And always spay and neuter your pets, right? Go. Tribute to Bob Barker. Thanks, everybody.